my eyes saw a pretty little thing approaching me. Said I never seen a man who looks so all alone. Or could you use a little company? If you pay the right price, your evening will be nice, and you can go and send me on my way. I said you're such a sweet young thing, why you do this to yourself? She looked at me and this is what she said. Oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't go on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. No, I can't slow down, I can't hold back. Don't you know, I wish I could. No, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Till we close our eyes for good. Not even 15 minutes
Live from Studio C, two guys who ask, wonder what they're doing in T-Town right now. Not this. It's South Alabama's #1 podcast, Drive Time with DJ and KJ.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to Drive Time, the best, worst show ever. Good morning, Sandy Kirkland. Hot Rod's in. Good morning to you. Jesse James. Good morning, Jesse James. John Blair's in. Kimberly Blair as well. Good morning to each of you. Robin Maples, good morning. O'Clack. Good morning, O. Alan Howard's in. Good morning, Gord. Mitzi. Good morning, Miss Mitzi. Danny Smith's in. Good morning to you. Doug O'Bar. Good morning, sir. Kristen Kennedy. Good morning. Miss Carol. Good morning to you. Sarju. Good morning. Tracy Miller. Good morning. Happy Monday. Yes, it is. Time to do it all over again. Good morning, Jolene. Good morning, Kenwood.
Good morning, DJ. How was the weekend?
Great.
It was great, but it was hot.
Gonna get a break in the weather today.
Are we?
It's only gonna be 108. So if you had those outdoor activities lined up, today's the day to do it. Heat index 108.
Golly. I'm going to tell you something. I believe it was that Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to take that back. I don't know of a day last week that wasn't brutal. Do you?
It's tough.
It was brutal. I'm going to tell you what, last night at 8 o'clock, it was 86 degrees, and the humidity had to be about 125%.
At least.
It seemed like it.
At least.
It was like a steam oven outside, you know. So I had a chance Sunday to go and, go in a few stores here in town and had to mask up. And I got to be honest with you, I was, everybody in there had them on, and it was just like business as usual.
I don't know if I'm not wearing my mask right, or if it's just I'm a little claustrophobic, and I can get, if I ever feel like my breathing's being impeded, I can panic a little bit, and it goes to another level. But I went in Walmart Saturday to get a few groceries, had mine on as well, and almost choked out on aisle 6. When I got down there, I don't know what happened, but I kind of started seeing spots, and I got over there in the dairy section, and I pulled it down for a little while just to catch a little breath, a little cool air. And I was like, my goodness.
Listen,
but it did not take well with me.
You might want to check what kind of mask you have. Listen,
I don't know.
That's made for the red room.
I didn't like it. I didn't. You
got to turn that valve a different way on that one, DJ.
I'm gonna do what I got to do. I'm gonna do what's expected of all of us. But I didn't like it.
I mean, you got to.
But but everybody had theirs on. Everybody that I saw had it on.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody having a huge problem with it.
No, I didn't either. Who'd you leave off with? Who's jumped in here? I remember Doug O'Bar. Good morning, neighbor. Miss Carol's in. Sargy.
I think Jolene was the last one I got.
Okay, so Joshua Gibson, good morning. Lori Duke Woodard, good morning. Jeff Robinson, good morning to you. Tammy McBrayer, good morning. Aaron Brown, good morning to you. Good morning, Mother.
Good morning, Miss James.
Good morning, Tracy Dykes. Miss Wanda Green, good morning. Sargy says Atari. Not just any Atari, but the 2600.
The original.
One that started it all. Background does bring up some memories, Hot Rod, for sure. Good morning, Timmy Wiggins. Gord said Atari 2600 in this mug. Atari was his first addiction. What was your last, Gord?
That'd be pepperoni pizza.
I mean,
Pizza Hut then.
Yeah, so anyway. Let's see here. Moon Patrol. Yeah, Moon Patrol. That's right. Pole Position, greatest video game of all time.
Can I tell you what I opened my door to Saturday?
Yes.
A 6-pack of RC at my back door.
I saw the picture that was put up. I'm gonna tell you something. You must be hitting on something, things better, because every time you talk about something, it just miraculously shows up at your house.
I'll tell you.
I mean,
$1 million. Wouldn't it be nice to have $1 million?
$1 million. Oh, golly. First full day of band camp. Oh, man. Good morning, Melanie French. Felt like opening the door to hell. Yes, it did. It's hot. Let's see. Sargie says she went to Pick and Save on Sunday, saw 3 people with no mask.
I think there's a loophole possibly that you don't have to wear it if you can. I read something about it. I can't remember the exacts on it.
Well, I mean, listen, it is what it is. Let's see. Tammy says she's with you. It's kind of hard to breathe. This date in 1903, the first ever Ford was delivered. How about that?
Say that again.
On this date in 1903, Miss Carol has posted up, the first Ford was delivered.
Well, we're waiting on the second.
Listen, we're waiting on Broncos as we speak. Let's see here. Good morning, Heather Barlow. Randy Bell. Good morning, Big Bell.
Morning, Randy.
Danny Smith said he just dropped off Josie for her first day of band camp in F camp.
Getting it done.
Getting it done. I hear you.
Band camp and F camp.
Good morning, Chef Adam. King Kane, good morning to you. Good morning, Kay Luttrell. Ashley, good morning. I got a lightweight mask for all you lightweights, DJ.
It was, ugh.
Let's see. That's a good one. I don't know if you're going to wear that ball gag, you got to take that nose clip off, DJ.
Come on, now, that one does stay upstairs.
Man, you remember that one time at band camp? DJ, the only person ever that embraces having a stalker. Oh, that's good. I mean, and that's probably true. What I mean, people can actually get on live TV. Big Bell, he watches on TV sometime. So we can say TV, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Unregulated TV.
Unregulated.
And promotes having and loving being stalked. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that's probably not happened this Monday morning on any talk show across this country. What you want to say?
I'd say I bet it hadn't either.
I bet they haven't talked about valves on masks. I mean, I could tell this is going to be one of those manic Monday shows already.
So I did have an RC for breakfast, by the way.
Well, okay. So I was going to ask you: do you put RC in the same category with Coke in the respect of a Coke? There's nothing like a Coke in a glass bottle. Okay, I mean, and I haven't drank a Coke in almost 4 years. I haven't drank any soda in 4 years. But if a glass bottle Coke is like, I mean, it's way better than the cans, way better than the plastic bottles. Is RC the same way? I mean, I remember drinking RC out of glass bottles back in the day, but I didn't know if being in the plastic bottle or can, does it change the taste of it?
Whether it's can, glass bottle, plastic bottle, I always put my cola over ice. Always.
So you pour it out.
Now, if I am somewhere where ice is not available, will I have one? Absolutely. If there's ice anywhere close by,
You're putting it over ice.
in a styrofoam cup,
Yeah.
it's going over ice.
Yeah.
But it was just when when you get those unannounced little special things like that, it just sets you up for a great day. I certainly wasn't expecting it to be there.
Hey, I'm glad you just brought something to mind that I've been meaning to tell you about.
Hey, Aunt Faye.
So I got this so I'm going to show with Monopoly money.
That could happen.
Sure.
That could happen.
Oh, yes. Love the look of the new Ford Bronco. Hey, that's a fine automobile for sure. A fine one. So, yeah, I'm with you, Melanie. It seems to be headed that way. In a special meaning to DJ today, it is National Lollipop Day.
Out, Mr. Carroll. I'm out. On my side of town, it's National Conecuh Sausage Cheese Cornbread Day.
Yeah. I'll go what he said. I got a strange message a couple weeks ago, and I'd forgot all about it till you just said it. Till you were just talking about something like that. And I don't know who this person was. I looked it over pretty good, the profile, to see exactly if it was a troll account or something like that. Maybe it was. I don't know. But they were talking about that. Do you remember that thing that showed up outside the door of your house? That monster-looking thing?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, they were talking about the framework of that thing. And that they wanted to hopefully get up and get that framework back.
Okay.
And I was a little disturbed by the conversation.
Ooh.
Because I got to tell you, I didn't. It was tough reading it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost like, and I hate to even say this, but do you remember that letter or letters that we got those few times?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was almost like that. Not quite as unreadable.
Yeah.
But it was very like down a rabbit hole kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, if you had got this message, I'm kind of convinced that you probably would put a fence up around Casa Jennings over there.
Mm-mm.
I mean, seriously. I was like, I haven't thought about that. How long ago? That's been 2 years at least, has it not?
At least.
Yeah.
I haven't closer to 3 or 4.
Right. I haven't thought about that in that long. Out of the blue, I get this message.
Yeah. No.
I mean, and who thinks about something like? I mean, like I hadn't thought anything about that. Nothing. So I don't know. I just know that it is crazy. But I just wanted to tell you, I remember that when you said that, and so. Danny Smith says, how many businesses in town can't take cash? Do we know that answer? Connie B? Connie B's in. Good morning, Connie B. I saw, there she is. She's in. Connie B may be able to help us on that one. I'm not sure. Good morning, Aunt Faye. JP, the coach. Good morning, Coach.
Morning, Coach.
Let's see. Sargie says she's letting her customers decide as long as they're socially distancing. We usually have no more than 3 or 4 people at a time anyway. We will do curbside, though. Well, that's awesome. King Kang said RC is a kingly soda. Okay. Let's see. Good morning, Tracy Steele. Chevy Ann. I remember those letters. She wanted DJ. Hot Rod. He knows what I'm talking about. But hey, that was a strange time, was it not?
That was messed up. Yeah.
Hey, but the letters don't top the videos.
No.
Do you remember that craziness?
Yeah, I remember it.
I remember you looking at me and said, man, I mean, like off the air, you were like, man, I'm concerned.
Well, yeah, that was unlike anything that I'd ever been.
Here we are. Here you are this morning basically promoting stalk me.
Yeah.
Hashtag DJ loves a stalker. I mean, you know, I had forgot all about all that stuff. And just like I said, out of the blue, I get this message, and it took me back to that time.
Yeah.
That was a crazy time, man.
Sure it was.
Do we know anything about any of that at all? Like, or did we just kind of put that down and like leave it where it was at?
It stopped happening. So evidently word got to somebody or somebody's and it slowed down and stopped.
Man, that was crazy. That was crazy. I mean, it really was. Good morning, Sandy Townsend. Yes, Jesse, Double J says they were disturbing. They were disturbing.
They were disturbing.
The videos were disturbing. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. They were disturbing. Mary Hager, good morning from Camden, Alabama. Good morning from the Dirty 30.
Good morning, Mary.
Connie B says she don't know of any rejecting cash. Ashley says, we'll take your cash. Might not get change, but we'll take your cash. I stopped at a store in Flumpton yesterday. Sign read accepting cash, but no change. Jeff Robinson said that. I got to tell you the truth. And you may look at me like I'm nuts. I'm fine giving somebody a $20 bill. And if my bill was $15.28, them only giving me back, $4. I'm fine. I hate coin change. I can't stand to have it in my pocket, rattling around. I can't stand it. I mean, I'm not against money. I don't mean that. What I'm saying is I would be wholly fine if they went to paper money, cash-wise, where it costs this. Why can't we just have it? And Connie, won't you tell Yank this, and that the two idiots in the morning decided that we want to go to where everything's all, if we pay with cash, just make everything tax-wise where it all just comes out to a round number.
I like coin money.
See, I don't. But only for the reason I don't is because if you walk in a place and you get handed a handful of what always happens to me is I never have 3 or 4 or 5 cents. So I get 97 cents in change handed back to me. And it just rattles, you know. And when you run up on a place that don't have any quarters, or so they got to give you dimes and nickels.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I'm not saying I hate money. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Let's see. It's all fun and games until you find a fresh boiled rabbit in your kitchen. Now, I'm gonna tell you something, CB. I'm not sure that 3 or 4 years ago that's not where those videos were headed. Are you?
I was thinking more like abduction. I mean, there was some reference to that. Do you remember that?
Yes, it was. Oh, I know it was. It was disturbing. Good morning, Amanda O'Glenn.
I like to have a good time. That was outside the parameters of a good time.
Yes. Yes.
All I could see myself was getting cut up into little bitty pieces.
I got 3. Well, I got 2 words for you, but 3 initials. You remember that? JYD. That was out of control.
Yeah, it was.
With a cape on.
And the noises it made.
I mean, dude, that whole thing reminded me of the movie 8mm. Have you ever not? Yeah, I think that's the name of it. 8mm with Nicolas Cage, where he stumbled across this like ring of filming that were doing like videos where they were like killing people on video. I'm telling you, that was disturbing.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it was, but yeah, Kinsley does rack up on the change for sure. Timmy say he paid Saturday night with $27.50 in change with a little cash. Helping the coin shortage. There you go. You want them to round up and down. Up or I honestly, I don't care. You know, I mean, I just wish everything was just a round number. It's just easier to do if it's a round number, is it not? I mean, you like rough edges?
I like change.
Well, I mean, but if everything was a round number, wouldn't it make life easier? If you knew that you were going to go run by the grocery store, and you knew that no matter what you bought, it was going to be $29 or $38 or $19 or $15. I mean, just round numbers. Wouldn't that be so much easier to handle and deal with?
I guess in theory, yes.
So anyway, Cody Fowler says Taco Bell in Bruton Friday evening wasn't taking cash. So I don't doubt that a bit, Miss Carol, for sure. Maybe she was making a new vintage of Sex Panther. Tiny bits of real DJ.
There was a plan, I can tell you. There was a plan.
I mean, I'm going to tell y'all, for those of y'all that may or may not remember that was very disturbing.
There was a plan.
I mean, it was crazy. So, anyway, enough about that. What's going on in the over the weekend or end of the week last week? I mean, I know you're getting to enjoy a week of basically. You said we're gonna get a little break in the weather today, but not much of a break. It's hard to work outside, isn't it? When you when in the heat index like it is.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to sweat through. We had play day Saturday at Sportsman's Park.
How'd that go?
It was great. It was great. I probably had 20 kids or so, maybe a few more than that.
Yeah.
Bruton Fire Department cooked hot dogs for everybody. It was a good time. It was hot, but it was a good time. I had a water slide set up. It was nice.
I guarantee you it was hot. So let's see. Hot Rod, I was just thinking the same thing. DJ looks like he's scared again. Listen, he can't have PTSD over that. He's sitting here earlier, promoting being stalked.
No, I liked the sixer being dropped off. I liked the 6-pack of RC Cola being dropped off. That was a nice way to start the day. Just a random act of kindness.
You didn't like the JYD?
No.
Okay. Do we even want to talk about that? I mean, does that woman still work it?
I don't know. Let's move on. Let's just move on.
Listen, I'm not too sure that some of the musings of the Red Room might not have started with some of those videos. For sure. Rod says if I find those videos of her, I will send them to you.
You don't have to send them to me, Hot Rod. I'll hit that block button quick. Don't need them, don't want them.
DJ put in security after that. He had to make sure that Red Room door was locked down tight. I mean, but off of that, it was strange getting that message about that particular thing. And it wasn't about the thing, it was about the frame. Like, that's what got me through me so hard. It was like, it wasn't about the, what would you call that thing? Some creature, monster.
I don't know, Bigfoot looking thing.
Yeah, but it wasn't about that. It was about the frame that it was made on. And like, they, hopefully could, manage somehow to get that back. How does that work 3 or 4 years later?
I don't know.
That's got to be that long ago, wasn't it?
At least.
That's what I think too. So I mean, I don't know. It puts the lotion on its skin. Cody says he likes change too. DJ always looked for the older coins because they are worth a lot of money. Well, hey, I guess I hadn't thought about that, Cody. Maybe I need to start looking at coins like that too. It's like Voldemort, she who shall not be named. You You know who Voldemort is?
I do not.
That's a Harry Potter character. And you don't say his name because if you do, it can bring him around. So we probably don't need to say anything else about all that, do we?
I've been wanting to move past this for the last 5 minutes. Ow.
Oh. Well, where do you go after that? Where do you go? I mean, I can tell you this. You're talking about being hot and all that kind of thing. I think that was a great thing. That was at Sportsman's Park, was it? Saturday? Yeah. And you said they had a water slide and said the kids had a big time and the only thing you mentioned when y'all do it again is turn the lights on and do it in the evening.
We're going to do it at night the next time. Yeah. We're definitely going to do it at night the next time. Make sure the lights work.
Yeah.
It's just.
I don't blame you.
It was a bear out there.
I don't blame you, man. I mean, that's tough. You know, I mean, I could see where that'd be real tough.
The kids held up well. Some of us that are a little longer in the tooth, not so much. And about 10:30, I was seeing spots. That's rough on you, isn't it? Lee, it was hot.
I mean, that is, yeah. I can see where that'd be rough, for sure. So, talking about this Atari 2600. What was your favorite, man? Let's name it. Everybody had one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I had a bunch of them. I mean, and of course, they were all very primitive to what you have now, and certainly what came along later.
I'll tell you mine. Obviously loved Pac-Man. Obviously loved Pong, simply because that was like the first one ever. Asteroids, I think, may have been in the very first ones ever. I loved Asteroids. Pole Position. I loved Frogger and Cubert. They were great. I mean, yeah, they were real primitive, still fun. Pitfall was fun as well. The guy jumping from limb, the swinging ropes, thing. That was a lot of fun as well. I don't know that people today, or these kids today, that if they watch or played any of this, I don't know that they could would be able to understand some of that stuff. What do you think? Because these games they play today are like way past anything we're talking about.
Oh yeah,
I mean way past.
I liked Breakout.
Oh yeah,
and I liked
Breakout was good.
I liked Combat. I think Combat
was good.
I actually think Combat was their first game, and I liked it.
Was it? See, I thought Pong was.
I think it was Combat, but it may have been Pong.
And you may be right. What did you ever play Dig Dug?
I don't think I ever played that. Played some Space Invaders.
That was one of the first ones that they, Space Invaders was good.
Played Space Invaders.
That launched Galaga. That's where Galaga came from.
I remember their football game was very primitive. It was 3-on-3, and they looked almost like Ghost. And it was was a very primitive game.
But the baseball game was pretty good. Remember the baseball?
I don't know if I remember the baseball game.
You got to stand there from the eye of right behind the batter when you were the batter, and like swinging that way. And so, I mean, that was kind of crazy, like that. The tennis game was pretty good.
I don't know that I played the tennis game.
Let me ask you this: did you ever play any of the Nintendo Wii games, like the bowling and all that stuff? I think you probably would enjoy that kind of thing.
Missile Command.
That's old school. Yeah. That is
Chef Adam.
That is real old school, and that was a crazy game.
Missile Command.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. Good morning. Let's see. I can't see this morning. Rania and Trey Ingram. Good morning. Yeah, Missile Command was tough for sure. Yeah. Hey, I hate we had to not have the jam this past weekend, but then again, I'm not gonna lie to you. That heat would have been brutal.
It would have been brutal.
It would have been brutal.
I have no doubt that a good time would have broken out.
Oh,
but it would have been hot.
It would have been a great time. It just would have been a hot, great time. real hot, as a matter of fact. So, but yeah, I enjoyed those games. I never much played them after that. Now, I will say this: I did enjoy the Wii. You know, that bowling and stuff. That was pretty fun. Oh yeah, the table arcade. Hey, y'all have a table Donkey Kong? Sargi, that is awesome. I love Donkey Kong. That's an old school one as well. You remember back in the old Kmart, you could go back to the back there where they had the TVs on the wall, and they had like the Ataris and the Intellivision and ColecoVision, and you could like test them. You could go back there and play those games and stuff, and there'd be kids lined up, like standing in line waiting to get to play those games. I almost breaking out, like, you know where the cafeteria was.
Are you talking about the old Kmart?
The old Kmart.
The old cafeteria was in the doors far left.
That's right.
Front corner.
That's right. All right. Well, if you went to the cafeteria and then didn't go in the cafeteria, took a right down that wall, that's where they used to have those games.
Okay.
The TVs and things were set up there. Now, this is back in the day with console TVs, too. Mm-hmm. You know, HD TV back then stood for heavy damn television.
Yeah.
It didn't stand for high definition.
We had one.
Yeah. So.
Just one.
Yeah. So anyway, you didn't, besides going, I'm assuming after the fun day on Saturday, I'm going to assume that you probably went home and probably didn't do much after that, did you?
It wiped me out. I went home and took a shower, cooled off a little bit, did some yard work after 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock's the magic hour. You got to get till after 5 before you can really attempt to do anything.
Let me say this, too. I cannot believe that nobody has found this money. I mean, I'm dead serious when I say that. I can't believe it. I mean, I read back over the clues, and of course, it's easy for me to say that, and I'm writing them. But I can't believe they haven't found it.
Has anybody gotten close?
Yeah. I mean, I would say close, yes. I thought that was a really cool picture that somebody put up in Drive Time. Did you see that? The guy was on the cell tower, and he took that picture.
That was a cool picture.
That was, hey, I'm not gonna lie, I saved it.
Yeah,
I thought that was a great picture, and I mean, and it was really cool with how he phrased it too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was cool. I am shocked though, man. I'm really shocked. Nobody has found that money. I mean, I 7 clues out. I'm like, man, I would have figured somebody would have found it by now.
Somebody will stumble across it at some point.
Well, you know, can't ever tell what may happen. Never know. Never know what may be going on. So we will see. Let's see. Sarge, you said, it has 200 games. Wow. Dippin found it. Well, now that makes all the sense in the world right there, Sarge, that Dippin was able to run across something like that. Tell me he finds another one to let me know. I think that's really good. You remember the old sit-down, what she's talking about, the sit-down table arcade games? Remember you'd go and one person be on one side of the table, the other be on the other, and it was glass top and the screen was in the table?
I think I remember that.
They had one, what was the name of that, where the hospice place is now?
Which one?
Comfort Care, I think is the name of it. Downtown next to Bank of Bruton.
Okay.
You know, in that building, I say next to Bank of Bruton, there's the park and then the building right then. They used to have an arcade there, and they had a bunch of those table arcade games. I don't know how long the arcade was there for. I just remember, they had one there. But those table games are, I'm tell you something, if you get on eBay and look around at some of those old, like, vintage arcade games, man, those things, some of those things are $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
Wow. I won't be having one.
Well, my question is this. If you buy one of them, do you have to fill that thing full of quarters to be able to play?
I don't know. You'd be in trouble.
Could you imagine?
I don't know.
There's got to be some mechanism you just press a button and be able to play it. I'm talking about the original old school game. Now, it's got the quarter slots or token slots, whichever. Those games.
I remember Tom McMillan one year for Christmas got a $6 million man pinball machine. And that was a source of entertainment for about a month. That's all we played was that pinball. $6 million man.
Pinball is another great game, but the problem with pinball is every time you think you're getting ahead, you're really not. You're going to lose. So, let's see here. I saw Danny? He said, "Oh yeah, boy, his Cody Hammock way up there. He was too." Melanie says she hopes to get out sometimes this week. It is too hot, that's for sure. Didn't the old Pizza Hut have one? Yes, the old Pizza Hut definitely did. Over on 31, what is it? I don't know what it is now, but it's been several businesses. But the old Pizza Hut that's where everybody went back in the day. You could get dropped off there and...
Yep, that was a spot.
Yeah, left there. They'd come back and pick you up. Man, that's right, Ivy's Arcade. That's exactly what it was. So Ashley and them still have a Wii. So we know where to go play a Wii if we want to go play one, DJ.
Okay.
We need to go to Ashley's and check it out. So let's see here. I remember playing one at Godfather's in Warrenton. Wii is old school. I don't know when the Wii came out. Oh, you can set to free play. Okay, well there you go. So that makes sense. I didn't know. I mean, that's kind of crazy. I'm sitting there thinking, how about this? New evidence is supporting the theory that cannabis-derived CBD may help those suffering from severe lung inflammation that occurs in the most serious cases of coronavirus, according to researchers at Augusta University in Georgia. Researchers state, considering all potential regulatory effects of CBD, as well as the vast distribution of, I can't pronounce it, endocannabinoid system in the body, it is plausible that CBD may be used as a therapeutic candidate in the treatment of various inflammatory conditions, including COVID-19 and other virus-induced acute respiratory distress syndromes. So does that mean we can all start getting high?
I'm not sure what you just said.
Well, you know what CBD oil is, right?
Yes.
So this is a study that has said that CBD may help those suffering from the most severe inflammation of the lungs that occurs in the most serious of cases of coronavirus.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, does that mean we can all just get high? I wonder if we had the Great American Smokeout, do you think that would help, like, get rid of this thing? I'm willing to try whatever at this point.
I don't think they have any idea how to deal with it.
No, I'm right. I'm saying the same thing you are. I'm saying I'm willing to try anything at this point. So, who knows? I tell you, man, the hits just keep on coming. A swarm of flying ants in Britain showed up on the weather radar as if it were a rain cloud in Britain.
And let me guess, they're headed this way.
I don't know. The swarm reportedly appears each year on a day that Britons call Flying Ant Day, when young queen ants, followed by males, leave their nests to breed and start new colonies.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
Listen, will 2020 go down as like the I mean, when we look back on 2020 one day, how do you think that this year will be labeled in, I don't know, Google, or there's not encyclopedias anymore. So, the history books, let's say it like that.
It'll be unlike any other. I can't imagine, and of course it didn't happen on our homelands per se, but I couldn't imagine living like during one of the great world wars, whether it be one or two. I couldn't imagine living during the Civil War when there was actual confrontation taking place here in this country. But this has been, in my 50 years, this has been unprecedented.
Absolutely.
And it's just, I don't know. I don't know where it ends. I don't know where it's taking us, but it's wild. I sit back a lot and just think about it. This is wild what is going on in this country. I
mean, it really is. And what I'm saying is, just when you think that we've just hit like an all-time, like, okay, nothing crazier can happen, it does.
Well, I remember in March, and I think I'm right in saying this, in March, these experts were speaking with a certain amount or a certain degree of certainty that the hot temperatures were going to beat this back. I mean, that was a fact. That was presented as a fact. And there's been nothing further from the truth.
That's a fact.
So now I guess the cold's going to kill it. I mean, that's what you have to hold on to. That's the hope you hold on to.
Yeah. I can tell you this.
It doesn't matter. Like, this brings up a bigger point for me. I'm not upset. I mean, I get something being brand new and you don't have good information on it. You don't have any history on it, so it's hard to speak to it in terms of the course it's going to take or how you remedy it, so forth and so on. Is just when people present themselves in a position of authority is when it can cause bigger problems, in my opinion. I will tell you, I don't know. If you ask me something I don't know, I will tell you. If you ask me something that's in my wheelhouse and I have good information on it and good experience with you, I will tell you, say, Ken, I'm pretty confident what I'm telling you is right, and you can take it to the bank. You can take it to the bank. But these people who give you the information saying they know, and then 60 days down the road, no, you don't know. That bothers me.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is it's I don't think a lot of people, these experts, I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I just think as more information comes out, they have to go back and revise what they have put out, and I don't think it's anything intentional. I just think that's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this question. What do you think the Redskins' new name is going to be? Or have they? I haven't seen whether they've announced it, or if they have, I didn't see it.
I might be wrong here, but I thought I saw where Warriors was trending as a possible replacement. That may not be. Once again, I'm not saying that with a degree of certainty.
Right.
I want to say I saw that on an article I read. I haven't paid too much attention to it, to be honest with you. I don't watch a lot of NFL football. I don't follow it real close. I like to watch the playoffs and the Super Bowl, and that's about it.
Herb Street, did you see what he said over the weekend about college football?
I did not.
He says that there's going to be college football.
I think they're certainly going to. Well, they're in the fall.
Yes,
we'll see.
That's what I said too. I don't know how that's going to happen. It started in the winter. I don't think the cold is going to kill it. I think herd immunity is the only thing that will bring the numbers down. Whew. All their facts have been wrong. Tracy Steele said the election will kill it. Amanda O'Gwen said. Yeah, Gail, I agree with Miss Gail. She said 2020 has been a train wreck for sure.
Well, go back to the herd immunity thing.
Yes.
And I think there's something to be said for that. And if you look at it, and if you look at our herd here locally, when I say our herd, our county, I think we're up over, 500 or 600 people have tested positive?
I think so.
It's one of those. It's either like 518 or 618. I can't remember which.
I think it's 600.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, our herd is between 37 and 38,000.
Yes.
So if we're going to play that card, we have a ways to go.
Yes. And I agree, Sarge. No one really knows. Like Double J saying, just like anything else new.
Yeah, but
Things change with further research.
But these people get in front of cameras and they tell you with a certain degree of certainty. I mean, their body language, the way they offer up information. I'd rather you come up and say, "Hey, man, we don't really know a whole lot about this. This is what we're going to try now."
Yeah, right.
You know, I say, "Okay, I'm with you. I mean, I got it. I'm a team player. Let's try something. Maybe wearing these masks will help. I hope it does."
I hope I don't embarrass Cam for saying this, but I gotta say, I see where she just popped in. You were telling me this morning before we went on the air that her son is a kid to watch.
Yeah. He's got the goods.
That's what. Listen, and it made me think about that when I saw her name pop. You told me, remember that kid's name.
And I'm telling you, when I was asking,
what grade did you say he was in?
He's either going to the 4th or the 5th, and I thought he was going to the 7th.
He's a big kid.
Oh yeah, he's well put together.
Yeah, can sling a baseball. From what you said,
straight A student.
Wow. Okay, great.
Straight A student.
Yeah.
Kanisha got out there and played a little bit also.
Did she?
She was hurting immediately. Ken came back to the pavilion over there where I was close to dying.
So you and her, y'all were on the same sheet of music.
I said, Ken, you're gonna be hurting tomorrow. And she looked at me and she said, I'm hurting now. I said, it happens. It don't take long.
Kanisha, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Listen, it happens to the best of us. I promise you that heat. And it gets worse as the older you get. I promise you that too. But no, I saw Kanisha pop in there, and you were telling me this morning before we went on just how impressive her son was. And you were telling me he was a young guy, young kid, but he's built.
Nice boy.
Yeah, yeah. And also going to do. He's going to be a name that you hear a lot of. Is what you're saying? Hear a lot of.
He's going to do it.
Good morning, Sharon Smith. Sherry Weaver. Good morning to you. She overslept. Hey, don't worry about it. That happens to us too. Lori Woodard said people are getting this 2 and 3 times. Does that mean herd immunity will not happen? Whew, I don't know, Lori. That's a good question. I certainly don't know. Melanie says she agreed, DJ, the conflicting info is getting frustrating for sure. I mean, it is, but that's a, I'd rather them come out and say, listen, we're still battling this thing. We just don't know, but I do understand them trying to put safeguards in place to try to, help keep it down as best they can. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have to have ongoing efforts.
Sure.
I mean, if something isn't working, you try something else.
Right.
I just don't like the way the message is presented. It's misleading.
Yes. And I mean, anytime that you get something like this going, you're always going to have these types of things, that this person's wrong, this person's right, or both are wrong, both are right, that kind of thing. So, Ashley said they broke into a certain college stadium and played ball on a certain field back in the late 80s. If things get desperate, I guess we can do it all again and live stream. Yeah, we can, and we can live stream going to jail. Wait a minute. I think they'll let us out for like misdemeanors right now because of the virus.
That's right.
I don't think they'll keep us. Kanisha said Ben Gay is her best friend. Listen, did they ever come out with the type that don't smell? Remember that stuff?
Yeah.
Used to smell. Ooh. Do they have the kind now that doesn't have a smell to it?
I don't know.
Whew, that stuff was brutal, man. Brutal. Aaron Brown says they going to be getting something one day. He is already special.
That's him.
Yeah. Well, that's what DJ said this morning to me for sure. He said he was no joke. Good morning, Kimberly Dawn. Hot Rod said he heard the Fighting Irish wants to play Alabama University, but Alabama doesn't want to play them. Your thoughts, DJ?
I saw that released over the weekend, but then I saw something released a couple of hours later that it looks like that BYU and Alabama are going to try to get something scheduled for the opener. So they opted for the cupcake, which I'm not surprised.
Yeah, wasn't it BYU?
Yeah.
Oh, good morning, Raj. What's going on? That was kind of rough, wasn't it? BYU, of all things.
BYU.
But let's be honest. I'm still just waiting to see how they're going to put this thing together.
I did speak with one of the local high school coaches, and he said one of the things that came out from a protective measure in high school football, that if you were on the sidelines and not in the game as a player, you're supposed to have a mask on.
Mask meaning like with your helmet on?
No. Like what you and I would wear in Walmart.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. But if you have a helmet on, how are you going to put that on? I mean, I'm because let me be honest with you, that the mask I have wraps around the back of my ears and makes me feel like Dumbo. Makes me feel like my ears are pulled out like this.
One of the things.
Maybe that's because of my big fat head too. I don't know.
One of the things that I was that crossed my mind was getting the shields like you're talking about.
Yeah.
And putting those on each of the helmets.
Yeah.
Well, those cost $240 a piece. So that's out.
$240 a piece?
I asked that question, yeah. And they priced them out.
Well, let me ask you this. How many between Neal and Miller, how many shields would need to be bought?
Call it 110.
I mean, you're talking about, that's some cabbage right there.
Yeah.
But with that being said, how much you say? 240? Mm-hmm. Say 110. So you're talking about roughly $26,500.
Yep.
Is that something that they just chose to?
They're going with a cloth mask.
Forego.
Yeah.
My only question to that is how is that possible? And I don't mean this from a like being safe way. I'm saying, how is that possible to have a mask on with a helmet? Because that helmet fits onto those ears the way it does.
I don't know.
I mean, unless they got some sort of mask that I'm not aware of. Let's see. Aaron said it opens up the sinuses. Talking about being gay. Yes, it does. BioFreeze is better. It doesn't have that smell. I agree with that. Let's see. Cody Fowler says he got sick several years ago, lost his smell and taste, and couldn't breathe that good. He wonders that this virus hasn't been around longer than they say it has. Hey, it may be.
I saw the Atlanta Braves first baseman, Freddie Freeman, had it.
Yep.
And he gave his interview and testimony, if you will, over the weekend, and that was pretty wild to hear. He said that his temperature got up over 104, and he was fearful for his life. He said he was scared to go to sleep. If he went to sleep, he'd get even hotter and maybe slip into a coma or pass away or whatnot. But his story, it was pretty wild to listen to it.
Wow. Good morning, Fuquay. Heather Goblin says that she loses her smell and taste when she gets a sinus cold. Whew, I'm going to tell you that. That's the problem. That's one of the problems too, is that some of these same symptoms of COVID-19 actually mimic like sinus infections and things like that. So, a lot of people that are so used to having a sinus infection from time to time, they don't think anything about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And right now, that's I'm glad Heather brought that up. Right now is the time. If you have any of those type of symptoms, go get checked. I want to tell you this. Yesterday morning at Main Street, and I went by there at, I'm going to say 9:30ish, 10ish. I'm somewhere in that neck of the woods. There were people lined up all the way down the side of the building to the tree line in the back.
Yeah. It's been for 2 weeks.
I mean, it's been like that I knew it had been like that a couple days when I'd rode through going to the Chevrolet store, but I guess I was just like really looking. Are they doing that many tests over there a day, or like are you having to like make appointments? Like what is going on with that?
I didn't notice as many cars this morning as I had the last 2 weeks. as I would come over here each morning, they'd be parked on the side of the road.
Right.
They were not this morning, but that's not to say the parking lot's not full and there's still not as many people in there. But for 2 weeks, they have been testing them up.
Yeah. I'm it was just crazy to see that many people.
Yeah.
On Sunday morning. So I'm with you, Latanya. I just don't I don't know how you're going to do that. I would say this. I bet you this community would rally together to make sure that all of our football players at Neal and Miller had those face shields if it came down to it. What do you want to bet?
Yeah, no, I believe anything's possible here for sure.
I mean, every time that anything's ever needed to be stepped up, this community has stepped up. You know what I'm saying?
And
I'm not trying to put undue burden on nobody. That's not what I'm saying.
You always err on the side of safety, but once again, the way the information has come out, who's to say that does any good?
Well, and that's right. But let me say this. If we truly knew that they were going to have football and going to, have a full football season, and like you said, information may or may not be good, but here's my deal. If it's something that can't hurt, I mean, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but where does it end? Like, if you're going to safeguard the football players,
it may not.
You better safeguard the band members. You better safeguard the cheerleaders. You better safeguard the people in the stands. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
there's so many unanswered questions and moving pieces in there.
But my point on that is band members and people in the stands, and they don't have helmets on. A football player's got a helmet on, with those ear pads and all that stuff. I mean, unless you're standing over there with your helmet off with a mask on.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just the big argument itself. I'm talking about creating a safe environment for your kid.
Sure.
Is it safe to be in the ballpark playing football? If it's not, then we don't need to be there playing football.
Right.
We don't need to make it safer. It needs to be safe. And if it's not safe for all of us, or if it's not safe for all of them especially, but I don't know. It's a mess. To say that's not even a strong enough word, but it's a mess.
No, it's not. It is a mess. So let me ask you this. Y'all had baseball this year.
We had Summer League, yes.
Yeah, Summer League. So was there any outbreak of the virus?
There was not an outbreak, but we had some people test positive, and then, of course, there were some kids and families who chose not to participate from that point forward, which, was obviously well within their right.
Sure.
But for the most part, we had a good season, for the most part, yes.
Would you say people were socially distancing at the ballpark?
Yes.
So you definitely think that probably had a hand in keeping it from spreading?
Yes, and in a Summer League baseball game, it is much easier to social. Luckily, we have a facility that is what it is.
Right.
And it is very easy to sit 6, 8, 10 feet apart.
Right.
And still be there watching, supporting your kid. But it was obvious that people were making an effort to separate.
It may be tough to do that in a football stadium. If you got a good take the Battle of Murder Creek, how are you going to socially distance to that game?
Yeah. Well, I'm talking. And how do you social distance the band?
Well, you don't.
I mean, can they sit 6 feet apart and still play and it sound right, or do they have to be?
Well, no, you can sit 6 feet apart and still play and sound right. It's just they're going to take up the whole from the press box down.
Yeah.
They're going to take up the bleachers.
Yeah.
I mean, especially a band the size. I don't know how many members Miller's band's got in it, but I mean, you take a band the size of Neal's. I mean, they may even go past the press box.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, because Miller may be the same way. I haven't seen Miller's band to count to know. I just know the last couple of times we saw Neal's band, they were huge.
Yeah.
So I'm like you. I don't know how you do that.
We got a birthday girl in this morning.
Who we got?
Miss Cook.
You want to say how old she is?
Well, she was my favorite teacher. I loved all my teachers, but Miss Heather Cook was my favorite.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Miss Cook.
Happy birthday. How can you play a tuba with a mask on? I don't know. Does anyone know what the accuracy rate on the rapid tests are? I do not, Raj. Do you know that?
I can tell you, as far as Stokes Jennings is concerned, it's 100% correct. After 27 days in quarantine, he was satisfied with his negative result.
And how many tests did he take, DJ?
4.
He took 4 tests. Wow. 4 tests.
3 positive, and then the rapid response was a negative.
Now, had he took rapid before
The tests 3 and 4 were rapid. He took test 3 up in Auburn because it was not available here yet.
right?
So test 3 was also positive, and then the following week, when they brought it here to urgent care, he took a rapid test, and it was negative.
Well, there you go. There you go. CB said the rapid test is less accurate. The antibody test is not accurate at all. Hope better testing gets here soon. I can tell you this. That doggone thing they stick down your nose, if you have to go that route, is tough. For sure. Now, that's a great question right there. How do you socially distance 35 kids in a small classroom or 2 classes to shove together when there are no substitutes available? Deacon brought that up.
We've talked about it, and that's been my thing from the very beginning. Is there's going to be a teacher the teacher shortage is going to be a problem. If you get into extracurricular activities, referees are going to be a problem. I mean, the outline factors of this are almost endless.
Yeah, I know.
I've got 5 minors. Keep on the call down list.
I know 3. I know 3 teachers has already put in for their leave of absence.
Yeah.
So I see. I want to mention this. I see Bubba Roby had just popped in. I want to say good morning to Bubba. For those of y'all that don't know Bubba Roby, his late father was Mr. Wrestling #2.
He's not late. He's still around.
Well, remember he told us that.
Yeah, his dad is.
No. Remember he was commenting and said his late father. Remember he called us later and told us it was a joke. He was joking with us about it, and I was like, I thought so. Number 1, your dad was Mr. Wrestling #2, and number 2, he's not dead. No, he's not. Remember, because he had me going.
Yeah, but he never. I don't remember him passing him off as late. He said if one time on Facebook he said, "Hey, wish my dad happy birthday," and if you don't remember, he's Mr. Wrestling #2.
He did. But remember, me and you got to going about it with him back and forth, and that's when he's like, what was that? A month or so later, and I thought the guy had passed away or so. Anyway, I let me say this.
Good morning, Bubba.
His dad was Mr. Wrestling #2. Is Mr. Wrestling #2.
Is.
Remember that. Let's see. The best CB says the best indicator is hospitalization rate and treatment rate. Tim Reeves says he thinks Neil had 112 band members last year.
Big band.
That's strong. Yes. How accurate is the hospital test? That's a good question, Raj. I don't know that. I think the test that they do where they swab the inside of your nose or your throat, I think is more accurate according to what all I've read and seen about this. So let's see. On this stagger start, kids won't learn a thing until everyone is in class, correct? What is the game plan for keeping them occupied? Bubba said his mask is not effective for COVID. I'll tell you what, man. It'd be crazy to see people walk around with those masks. But I'd have to have me one of those because Mr. Wrestler #2 is the man. He and Bullet Bob.
That's right.
Without a doubt. Listen to this. There were 3 times. There were times last year when I had 3 classes at one time due to lack of substitutes. This is the real world that no one wants to talk about. What do you do with that?
I'm telling you, and it all goes back to, and we've said this before, people that are in position of having to make these decisions are in mighty tough spots.
My brother's in. Big Skinny says in Pike Road, the children will stay in the same classroom all day and the teachers switch classes. Not sure if this will help, but does limit some exposure. How about that?
What was that?
I said my big skinny is in, and he said in Pike Road, the children will stay in the same classroom all day, and the teachers will switch classes. Not sure if this will help, but it does limit exposure. I mean, I don't know. I mean, and maybe I'm like big skinny. Maybe it does. Who knows?
Well, I can tell you last week, and I have this on very good information on Wednesday. There was a conference call with Steve Savarese, who is over the Athletic Association for Alabama high schools, and his football coaches. And he was given the directive from Governor Kay Ivey, you do what you want. Whatever you think's best, do it. So she's not wanting to make that call. I mean, you have incomplete information being asked to make decisions that impact and affect a lot of people, a lot of communities.
Well,
and Savarese says we're playing. I know why he says it.
Well, sure. And people want to give Kay Ivey a hard time, and hey, that's your prerogative. The one thing I won't give her a hard time for, loved her mask.
The governor.
Was that not hitting?
That was great.
That was hitting. I loved it. Loved it. Let's see here. CB says the nasal is more accurate, but a few false results are reported. Let's see. Yeah, the only problem, I mean, like Jess just said about even the teachers switching classrooms, is the fact that, the teachers. Here's my thing. How are you going to keep a bunch of kindergartners, first, second, third, fourth? How are you going to keep those kids off of each other?
You're not.
I mean, there's just not, it's not possible, is it?
My Heather teaches pre-K.
Okay.
Okay. They're 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
5-year-olds.
That.
You're going to keep a mask on them?
No.
No chance.
No.
There's no chance.
You can't keep a daggum when Thanksgiving rolls around and they do Pilgrims and Indians. You still can't. You can't keep one of them a turkey feather thing on top of their head. You can't.
It's a mess.
Yeah. So all I know is they say the test goes 4.5 inches deep. That's out of the back of my head. Oh, I can tell you this, Ashley. It goes at least that deep. I'm telling you right now, when that thing goes down your nose, it goes down to the back of that throat, does it not?
Golly.
Yeah. And it's both sides. It's not just one, it's both. Ooh, I'm telling you. Let's see. How accurate is DJ's top 5? It's been pretty accurate here lately.
I mean, over time, I've proven to be pretty close.
Yes. Okay, so here's my question, okay? We all went to school, and I'm not saying this is any school system. I'm talking about all school systems, not just the ones locally. How are you going to sanitize daily, hourly? How are you going to completely keep those schools sanitized when you have, how many janitors or custodians do you have at, say, Neal and Miller High School? I mean, between the two, maybe what, 6, 7?
I don't know what the staff looks like these days.
What I'm saying is you don't have enough to keep a place that size with that many people in it sanitized. There's just no way. I'm going to go ahead and put this out here. I'm all for, everybody says we got to start back. I'm all for saying this. I'm all for saying, why don't we wait till January and give these people time to see if they could come up with something between now and January that would help, or maybe come up with a vaccine or something like that would help, where we wouldn't have to worry about these types of things. Would you have a problem with that?
No. I don't know what the answer is. I don't. I mean,
I'm not saying that's the answer.
I don't know.
I'm just saying that's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a mess.
Yeah,
it's a mess.
So today, a lot of different names for today, DJ. Today is Global Hug Your Kids Day.
Nothing wrong with that. It should be every day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also International Chess Day. Are you a chess player?
I don't know how to play chess.
It's also Moon Day. Is the moon going to be out tonight?
I don't think we even had a moon last night.
I didn't see one. So, it's also National Nap Day. How about that?
I may celebrate that.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, listen, I'm not saying nasal tests. I mean, it's tough, but now there's two nasal tests. There's one they stick it all the way down the back of your nose. There's another one they just swab right on the inside. So, two different ones going on right now. Let's see. Tiffany Press had that's a great idea right there, Tiff. I like that. Let's see here. We're not allowed. Sandy Kirk said, what did I miss? Fulham Elementary is going live today at 1 to discuss their reopening plan. That's awesome. Mobile's doing virtual only. Last I saw.
I saw that. I said, what do you do if we have some. If you have extracurricular activities, i.e. football games, scheduled with teams in Mobile County, are they going to play football? You can't be on their campus as a student.
I don't see how they can. I just don't see how they can. CB says, I've seen some schools using sanitizer misting fans between classes, UV lights for nighttime sanitizing, changing HVAC so classes are not sharing air. I mean, and again, that may be going on. I'm just, I can tell you that from watching two stores be sanitized like crazy, okay? I can tell you that the amount of work and money that it took to do that, I cannot see a school being able to do that all day, every day, 5 days a week.
And on the flip side of it, and I'm not meaning this demeaning, what purpose did it serve?
Well, I mean,
for that moment, it's clean and sanitized.
Well, that's what I mean.
As soon as you open the door and somebody walks in, you could be
exposed. But that's what I mean, and that's the point I'm making.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the exact point I'm trying to make. Is saying that all of that is great right then.
Yeah.
But 2 hours later,
it doesn't serve a purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's the same point I'm making, is that how do you do that as a school?
Yeah.
Every hour you change classes. Okay? You're going to come in and sanitize with it. How are you going to do that? How are you going to make it that way? Especially, and we all know this, and all of us that have, no educators, and I'm married to an educator. DJ's been married to an educator twice, and 2 times. Everybody knows. You've got classes. Most classes are 20 plus kids. You cannot spread 20 plus kids 6 feet out in a classroom. How are you going to do it? I saw somebody asked the question about the lunchrooms. Will the lunchrooms run, or that kind of thing? That's a great question. I'm not sure.
How you going to bus them?
Well, right. I mean, that's exactly what I was fixing to go with it. I'm going to tell you this. I think they got problems. I know this county, they got a bus set up right across Murder Creek Bridge, say needing bus drivers. I think they got problems with finding bus drivers. Let's see. Students will eat outside and also in classrooms. They're encouraged to bring their own lunch. Deep nasal swab is not pleasant, but a ventilator is absolutely well. Hey, listen, it's not pleasant, but I'll tell you this: I'll take it again if I have to. I'll take it again. I've had no problem taking it again. I mean, I've been tested now 1, 2. I know. Let's see. I've been tested twice now, so I have no problem doing it. I mean, if I don't want to expose anybody just as much as I don't want to be exposed. But there again, if I'm willing to say and do whatever needs to be done to make that happen. let's see. I'm not sure about the elementary school. I know they will in the high school. Let's see. The sanitizing spray takes 10 minutes to be effective. How about that?
Say it again.
The sanitizing spray that you see in these carts that they pull around, that they spray things down.
I don't know if I've seen them.
Oh
yet.
yeah, that's what they're. A lot of businesses and things are using these sanitizing carts. They spray things down and sanitize. The problem, what J.C. James has pointed out, is that it takes 10 minutes for it to become effective.
Well, I know one of the things here at the YMCA that we do as a frontline, as a frontline part of the defense is take your temperature before you come in. And it was the same way at the ballpark. If you were going to come down to watch the game, they'd shoot you in your forehead to see what your temperature was. Is that something they'll have in place at school also to serve as a first line thing, or
You talking about with your temperature?
yeah, if you had a temperature, you can't come in the facility.
Let me say this. I don't know the answer to that question, but I do know this. How many times has Heather told you about a kid coming to school with a fever?
Oh yeah,
Okay. Well, as a parent, you knew that kid had a fever.
yeah.
And you sent that kid to school anyway. Okay? So we already know, and I'm not dogging parent. Listen, I saw a post a couple weeks ago that made a lot of sense to me. It said, listen, I've got to make a choice, either stay home with my kid and lose my house and lose my way to feed my kids and all this, or send my kid to school and be able to work and provide. That's I don't care who you are, that choice should never have to be made. You know what I mean? But it is. I mean, it's a choice that people are having to make right now, and gonna have to make. I mean, it seems like. So who knows? Let's see. Yeah, well, you got the one I got then, Amanda. If the kids have to stay home and both parents work, who's going to keep their kids? Well, and that's what I was just talking about, Hot Rod. On the school buses, students within the same family have to sit together. They have to be masked and face forward the entire bus trip. We will all likely get many more tests before it's over. I would think that's probably a for sure on that one, CB, for sure. Tiffany says maybe they'll let them go in small groups. Camille loves to read, and I hope they don't take that away from her this year. Heather Godwin says, yep, they even say on the bottles, most say to wait 10 or so minutes for it to be sanitized. Rod says he has installed an inline air sanitizing system in his HVAC. Not sure if it will work, but worth a shot. Hey, that's, no doubt. We do know one thing, as DJ pointed out earlier, heat doesn't have any effect on it.
No.
So, I'm assuming that we'll. I'm anxious to see this week some of the numbers to start coming out from Alabama since the mask mandate went into effect on Thursday. I'm anxious to see if the numbers start declining.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah,
That'll be interesting.
yeah. Doesn't it take you? I know you've kept up with this. Doesn't it take about 2 to 3 days for the numbers to be current? You know what I'm saying? I mean, whatever numbers they report today actually were probably from Friday?
Yeah, from maybe a week out, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it'll probably later on in the week before we start seeing in real numbers since the mandate went into place. I'll be interested to see how that happens. Let's see. I'm going to say this. We'll get off this subject. It's going to be a definitely challenging school year whenever it starts. And it's going to be challenging on parents. It's going to be challenging on kids. It's going to be challenging on educators, administrators, faculty, everybody involved. It's going to be challenging on our cities, just to maintain some sort of state of normalcy, if you will. And I don't know how much of that you can do when things just aren't normal. So The only time period I can remember that things were kind of crazy. I'll say crazy. That things were kind of up in there, and it was kind of a real sense of a time with a sense of uncertainty was 9/11. After 9/11, everybody kind of had that same kind of feeling like you have right now, which is, what happens next? So you just really don't know. I mean, and you don't. So, so we already talked about National Lollipop Day. It's also National Fortune Cookie Day.
National Fortune Cookie Day.
Yeah. Do you like reading fortune cookies? Have you ever read one that applied to you?
I've probably read 5 or 6 in my life.
Did any of them ever pan out?
Not that I remember.
None of them said that one day you're going to have a red room.
I don't remember that being the case. No.
Well, I was just curious. Didn't know how that worked. Let's see here. How about this? On this day in 1969, the Eagle Lander put Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin on the moon. They're the first men to walk on its surface. The crew spent almost 24 hours on the lunar surface before completing a rendezvous with the orbiter. Also on this day, 1976, Hank Aaron slugs the final home run of his career, 755, and also marked a career home run record for Major League Baseball.
Hammer and Hank.
Which stood until Barry Bonds broke it in 2007.
And I don't recognize it.
Yeah, I mean...
cheated.
Yeah. Those performance enhancers didn't help that record at all. So, do we have any... I know you called out one birthday. Do we got any more birthdays we need to go through, DJ?
There was several. I just can't remember who they were. I just remember Miss Cook. I loved her yearbook class.
Was that one of your minors at Auburn?
Yep, one of my electives.
Well, I mean, can you minor in yearbook?
Yeah, I did.
Really?
Well, it takes 15 hours.
I didn't realize that.
Yep.
That's actually good. That's good info. I had no idea. Let's see here. We talked about that. So anyway, I saw where I was trying to think when they were saying this was going to happen. I saw where the NCAA president finally came out and made some comments about the upcoming football season. Has the SEC, have the commissioner come out and said anything final or anything yet at all? I mean, is he still kind of hiding?
Too much money right now. They hadn't made anything final. They'll, when it's a $1 billion business, you got to try to make a go of it.
Yeah.
And they're going to try. We'll see.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be tough. That's for sure. The fortune cookie is so vague now, it applies to everyone. What do you think about that? That's probably right. Ashley said she had a fortune cookie last week with no fortune inside. Well, that'd be your luck, Ashley.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, that sounds just like something would happen to me. Nobody eats those things. My daughter loves them. She'll eat those things. I can't stand them. Ugh. It's just like a dry cracker.
Yeah.
Jenny
Gray has a birthday.
Well, there you go. Happy birthday, Jenny.
Happy birthday!
Thank you, Miss Sandy.
Yeah, thank you. So, let's see here. Anything else we hadn't went over? What was it that you posted in the guy from Atmore?
Don McNeil.
Yes, I meant to ask you about
Don McNeil.
that. Was he must have been a hammer.
He was the one of the probably 5 or 10 greatest players ever at Atmore High School, Escambia County High School. Went on and played at Alabama, won 2 national championships with Alabama. Then went drafted by the Miami Dolphins, played 10 or 12 years for the Dolphins, was in the Super Bowl against the Redskins. He's the one that Riggins ran over for the last touchdown.
Wow.
Which, I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of. That's John Riggins.
Yeah, right.
But and it is in defense of Don McNeil, he had a broken hand, had a cast on his hand, and could not wrap up with the diesel. But Don McNeil was he's one of the greats. He's one of the ones in the Penn State game in the Sugar Bowl 14-7. And those that played that game, excuse me, will tell you had one of the greatest individual efforts in the history of the college game on a third down pass play to keep the guy out of the end zone. It was unbelievable. I watched the video several times after seeing that post on him. But I had an encounter with Don McNeil at a T.R. Miller Atmore basketball game down there. This was in the late 70s. He was a student at Alabama, and he was home over Christmas, I guess watching the Christmas tournament. My dad took me down there to watch the basketball game, and my dad pointed out Don McNeil sitting on the bottom of the bleachers and said, "You need to go get his autograph." This was after the national championship. Excuse me, before the national championship. So I went over there, asked him for his autograph, and he just stared right through me. I mean, had a scowl on his face and just stared right through me. And I turned around and looked at my dad, and he kind of motioned me to stay in there and hang in there with it. So I asked him again for his autograph, and he just scowled at me. I mean, looking right through me. I turned to walk away, about to start crying, and he grabbed me and gave me a hug. Now, I didn't know what's going on. Then he pushed me away and pulled my shirt out, and I was wearing an Auburn football jersey. But he was great. He was great.
So you didn't get his autograph as well?
No, he gave it to me.
Did.
He gave it to me.
Okay.
He was hard time.
He was just giving you a hard time.
He's an All-American in Alabama. I'm wearing an Auburn football jersey, but he was great. He was great.
Well, I saw you post that. Was that 247 Sports that done that article on him?
Yep.
I think that's cool to talk about, the where these guys are. And
it all runs through the Dirty 30, man. It all runs through the Dirty 30.
It really does.
Don McNeil he's one of the shortlisters for county high and for Alabama.
You also, not long ago, put up one of Money's jersey at Duke.
Yeah. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Number 17.
That was awesome.
Kid from Florence's, Alabama. F count. $39.95 at the bookstore too.
Getting it done.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that was cool. That was a cool post.
We grow the best people.
Oh, yeah, man. We've said all the time, it all runs through the Dirty 30. No doubt. We got to get out of here, DJ.
Man, it's been a great Monday. Appreciate everybody being in. When you get out and about, mask up. People helping people. Stay safe. Keep plenty of fluids close by. It's going to be a bruiser. If you have some time to waste tomorrow, get back in here, and we'll do it all over again. Y'all have a good one. Love y'all.